Guys, I just discovered something really important with Astaroth. Listen to what he says when you hit with this grab during Soul Charge. Omae wa mou shinderu. It would have been so perfect if they made Tira go, Nani? When she gets grabbed too. But Astaroth is just really funny overall in this game. I mentioned in the past that a thing that annoys me about Soul Calibur is that the characters are constantly talking. But Astaroth is so great because he feels the same way. He's just constantly annoyed going, shut up, stop making those noises. It's just really funny. But I've been messing around with Astaroth in practice mode today, and I'm just loving this character overall. Everything he does just feels and looks really great. He kind of makes me feel like this is what Gigas would have been in Tekken if they made him like work and made the design really balanced. I know that's hard to imagine, but Astaroth is one of those few really sort of big heavy characters that has historically not been super weak. He's actually been a pretty good and balanced character in the past, which is super cool because it means that players like me who love the sort of giant power character archetype can enjoy this without feeling like we're choosing, you know, a low tier character. Astaroth has great range on a lot of his attacks. I mean, stuff like this does a great move, 52 damage if you hit with the actual blade of the axe, right? And he has some of the best grappling in the game as well, and you can really sort of mix his grabs up. Some of his grabs have just frames. They've really sort of fleshed out his grappling game, and if you're going to compare him to like Gigas and Tekken, is really good because Gigas has one super powerful throw, but he can't mix it up. But with Astaroth you can do all kinds of stuff. You can do, like, you know, throws with armor properties. You can do you know, positioning advantage with throws. You can throw people behind you and stuff. It's really, really cool. But his weapon attacks also feel great, and he seems to like kind of excel at forcing positioning, especially during Soul Reversal. If you hit with a B during Soul Reversal, let's see if we can get it off here. Alright, we kind of have to set Tira to go for, if we set her to go for the A during Soul Reversal, I think this should work. Let's try this again. Yeah, see, that's like one of the best ring out attacks in the game, right? He just sends you behind him really far, and he's really good at sort of putting his opponent where he wants them. He has a lot of really great range. The grabs just feel and look really violent when he just swings you around. It's like the Hulk in the first Avengers movie where he's just smashing Loki into the ground. It's just super cool overall, and I'm really enjoying it. But if we're going to talk a little bit about his move list, I mean, this isn't a guide or anything. It's just me messing around and having a lot of fun with the character, sort of explaining what I've found so far. I've gone and read these character guides that they give you, these little manuals that they give you in the practice mode. I should have done that for all characters, but with Astaroth they really explain like how you want to be close, you want to use his grabs a lot. Astaroth is actually a character that I used to use a lot way back in the day when I was playing Soul Calibur like 2 and 3. That's so long ago, and I obviously didn't know how to use him back then, but he has this old iconic moves like the Bull Rush is still here. He still has the up and down B, which is this huge launcher, which you can get guaranteed off of his quarter circle back throw, which is a massive 74 damage. It's really good. And if you mix up the quarter circle forward throw here, this just naturally gives you 65 on just frame, so it's a really powerful throw mix up. I don't know how these throws are broken, but I'm assuming that they're built as a throw mix-up. They might not be. I'm gonna have to like check out how you actually break all these throws, but he has a lot of really cool stuff like that. And then just long-range tracking moves seem to be amazing. But if we're gonna look at a couple of his normals in the practice mode a little bit here, let's start with the sort of recommended move list. There we go. Yeah, so they're showing you these throws. They're giving you this very iconic Bull Rush with him. Super important move. You can charge it up. It's mid. You can go extra far. It's a lethal hit attack, as you can see right there. And you can also really double up hard on it when you have Soul Charge. I think that might even actually combo. I'm not sure if it does, but it seems like it does. So, for example, if you have Soul Charge on and you launch with a 3B here, I think that works, but it might be possible to Ukemi. I haven't tested it yet, but it's like an iconic move, and it gets souped up by the Soul Charge, which seems to be a little bit like how Soul Charge works in this game. It's like making your best stuff better, kind of like how the Rage Drive in Tekken tends to be like a souped up version of your most iconic move, kind of thing. Forward A. Probably for hitting moving opponents, right? They usually give you an attack for that. Back B, yeah, this is one of the few really fast attacks Astaroth has. It's really fast. It's like a good chunky little mid right here. I love this, and I think it's important to have attacks like this. Back A is another one with him. It's like a fast jab attack. It's high though. This one's mid, and because you excel at you know, range and power, you're not exactly fast or really good at being super close. So you need to be careful and use these really fast, a few precious moves that you have that can be good in the close-up game. And I think the back B and the back A are two most important tools here. This one is cool, by the way. The back, sorry, the back AA. When you hit with the back AA, he can switch the positioning, so it's another really cool little positioning tool for him. And yeah, you can charge this back B up, by the way, and get break properties on it, which is really cool too. Yeah, super cool. Forward B is another iconic Astaroth move. Seems to be a good combo tool in this game, and you can see, like, compared to other characters that we've looked at, this is a true combo as far as I know, by the way. It's kind of small, it's only 2 hits, but it's 56 damage, so his damage is like super baller as well, even with just small combos like this. Forward K, I think this is supposed to be a counter hit tool. Yeah, it says right there that this is a counter hit tool. And I think forward B and forward K seem to be his sort of main counter fishing tools, and they both look really solid. So let's turn on counter hit here and see what the properties are. See, it causes a crumple stun, and the forward B does as well, and you can probably get good guaranteed stuff here. Maybe you can get a guaranteed, yeah, look, you can get the ground throw. Cool thing about Astaroth is he can do a down throw and he can grab crouchers, and he can do down forward throw and he can grab grounded opponents. And if you get this counter hit, and I'm assuming off of a lot of other launchers as well, you can grab them off the ground and reset them like that, which is really cool. So yeah, like, this is what you want in a grappler, I think. You want to be able to, like, really use your grappling for different situations so that they're really mixed up, kind of like how normal mids and highs and lows would be. Just makes a lot of sense to me, and it seems like a lot of fun to use. I haven't used them in any games yet, but I'm going to, because I'm loving this so far. That's the back A. Yeah, this is another huge Astaroth move, the up AB and down AB. It's like a huge horizontal swing for keep out, and if you hit with the actual sort of blade of his poleaxe, it does 62 damage. Oh, we have counter it on. Let's turn that off. Yeah, it's 52, which is huge, and you can swing it in both directions, so it's like a really great tool for just keep out. You can hit people from way downtown, and he's obviously good at that. I mean, he has stuff like this. You can guard cancel this, by the way, which is super cool, and you can charge it for unblockable, so you can, like, do it normally, you can cancel it and threaten people with it, and you can charge it up for unblockable. So really cool. And that's obviously super vertical, but then he has really good horizontal tools like back A and up AB and stuff like this as well. And again, I'm getting, like, super excited right now, but just messing around with the characters in practice mode in Soul Calibur so far is just so much fun. It's like being a kid in a candy store. Okay, here we go, combo. So they're going to give you, for the typical, like, down forward B launch, just 4-4-2 here, which might be optimal. I mean, something that I've learned so far, thanks to you guys, about Soul Calibur combos, is that you should not assume that a combo works. It's not like Tekken, where you can just set your opponent to, you know, second option all guard and assume that you're creating real combos. But because they're recommending this, I think we can assume that it's real, and it's 56. Another thing that you can do is do air grabs and get good damage. That one's 54, so it's basically the same. But you can do back throws here as well, and you can switch the positioning if you want to. Really good at the edge of the screen. I'm gonna imagine or assume that this is really good for like ring out situations if you have the right positioning. Let's try from over on this side a little bit. Oh, and I got the wall that time. But yeah, this will work if you just position it correctly. And it's just so much fun how he just like really smashes you over the edge with these throws. They're really super cool. But that's the first recommended combo. Then we have, yeah, you can get this guaranteed at the quarter circle back throw. That's the just frame, which is the more powerful version. You can get a massive 74, like we said before. Super cool. Oh, and you can get guaranteed throws off of counter hit forward A. That's really cool. So we're going to try that as well. Counter hit on attack. And then what was the attack that they used? Down AG. So down A plus G is the crouching throw. So this is what you use to catch crouchers, which is so cool that you can just do like this. I mean, King can sort of do it in Tekken, but this is just like, you know, he can grab you any direction all day. So like... what was the attack? It's forward A on counter hit. Okay. That's 66 damage. That's really big. And I don't know what he says in the English version, but here's like, just let me punch you a little bit. Is what he's saying in Japanese, which I love. Like the personality is really on point with this character too. And what do we have here? Okay, so quarter circle forward A during soul charge. I don't think that this move exists out of soul charge. Let's turn off counter it too, so we get the proper damage. Okay, so this is quarter circle forward A during non-soul charge, but when you do have soul charge, it turns into this, and you can get a guaranteed down back B for 84. Man, that's huge. Actually reminds me of another really cool iconic Astaroth move. For some reason I remember this move as Poseidon's Wrath. That's what I used to call it when I was young. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. There's Greek mythology stuff going on with Soul Calibur, but this thing gives you 90 damage on hit in this game, which is super huge. And he still has that cool thing that he used to do back in the day where you can keep on spinning and you can control him mid-spin. Just turns him into a wheel of death. And I think this move is actually useful. It certainly used to be in Soul Calibur 2. I remember good players used to use it a lot. And if you get that normal hit, it's just on the first hit, it's just huge damage, which is super cool. I think that's it for the recommended move list. Yeah, so let's look at some normals. AA, really slow for an AA, so it's probably one of the slower ones. I guess when you're up close, rather than using this, you might be using stuff like back A and back B for like quick pokes. This looks a little bit chunkier, but it looks to be on the slow side for an AA. On counter hit, you get the position switch right there. Oh, and you have a mid mix-up, that's cool. So you got AA, which is high, non-natural, but you can mix that duckable high up with this mid right here, which looks nice and chunky, by the way. And I love when they do that, when it's like clear that, oh, that's the, you know, the mid I'm supposed to mix in. That means that you can just start using that and you can mix up his AAAB, which is basically like his jab strings right away. Forward A, quick little tracking move, I guess. Down A looks like a very long range low. Longer range, but probably, yeah, slower than most down A's that we've looked at so far. And I'm guessing that his down K is, yeah, looks kind of crappy. Also reminds me of Gigas a lot. This character really reminds me of Gigas in a lot of ways. He has like above average grappling, he has massive range, he's supposed to be good at guard breaking. It's just that with Gigas they didn't really make it work. Hopefully, we don't know yet, but hopefully Astaroth is going to be a good character in this game. I really hope so. Down back, yeah, this is the one that you can charge up, right? and you can double up on it, and it has a mid mix-up with break properties, but I think that follow-up is super linear, so if they block the first part of that, they can probably visually react to the second hit and block low again, or if they see the blue lightning, just start walking to the side, and I think it's honestly probably pretty easy to deal with, but it's also a move that becomes more powerful during soul charge. I think it gets armor properties, I think that's what happens to it, but I haven't checked that out yet. Yeah, there's that little quick string. Oh, and this is chargeable as well. That's probably kind of useful, honestly. It's a quick break attack. Oh yeah, and you have a back A B here. It looks like a launch. Can you get 4-4 B? Yeah, you can. Okay. And you can throw as well. Really nice. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then there's that one that we've seen before. That's the spinning version, where you just keep on pressing the A. Crouch attack while rising A. That looks really good. Jumping A, is that a mid? It's a high. That's unfortunate. It would have been really good if it was a mid. Back turn A. Back turn down A. Okay, let's look at some verticals. BB. Doesn't look natural. Looks a little bit too chunky for that. Yeah. And you can charge this too. He has a lot of attacks that you can charge. They gain either like guard break properties or they gain unblockable properties, and they all become better. So again, he's probably very good at guard breaking, kind of like Gigas. BKK. I think you're supposed to be able to use this as a guaranteed throw setup somehow. Maybe it's only during soul charge. No, look, that actually comboed. So you can get a throw right there, assuming obviously that it's breakable, so you got to mix it up. But I haven't looked deep into throw breaking mechanics of this game. I'm kind of assuming that it's similar to Tekken, but I don't remember, and I really have to research that quite thoroughly if I'm going to play Astaroth, you know? Yeah, and there they show that you can do the back throw as well. That looks really cool. Oh, look on counter it. That's so scary. Imagine being near the edge of the screen when he gets that and he just picks you up and walks you over and throws you over the edge. B forward B. That looks pretty good, honestly. Or is it BB forward? Yeah, it's BB forward. Is it natural? It is. That looks really good, honestly. Fast, natural damage string. And like I say, he kind of lacks these fast poke strings, right? So this looks like it could potentially be really good. Very unorthodox input for a Tekken player to have to do 2 forward, and then the forward input is the second attack, not the second attack button. But it honestly is really intuitive. They've really made the visual feedback of attacks in this game correspond well with the timing of how you press stuff on the controller, which is why I feel the just frames and things you have to do in this game also just happen quite easily. It's a much more user-friendly game than Tekken in terms of its input. Tekken is just on the surface. I mean, I'm not an expert on Soul Calibur, but on the surface, it's a much easier game to you know, get into input-wise. It's easier to perform with your hands, but that doesn't necessarily have any bearing on how difficult it is to win a match against another good player. Forward B, that looks good too, honestly. It's a counter tool we looked at earlier, right? So forward A, forward B, and forward K all seem to be important counter tools. Really cool. And he seems to be pretty good at counter hitting too, honestly. You can charge your main launcher for unblockable, but I'm gonna suppose that is too slow to be useful ever. Looks like a good ground hitting spike here. Maybe for Oki, maybe for combos. It looks like a pretty good low. The range isn't massive though. Can you charge? You can hold it. Does it do more damage? 24, 30. Yeah, it does. Oh, and it knocks down. Oh, it knocks down either way, but that knocks down face down, head towards, and that one knocks down face up, feet towards. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna guess that the oak situation is very different. Back B, yeah, great move. Super important move for Astaroth, as far as I know. Again, I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to this game. I'm still learning. Oh, and you can double up on that if you charge. That's really cool. And you can charge the second one as well. Okay, and then crouching attacks. Let's look at some Ks. Standard K just looks really fun because of the massive shoe. He has, you know, Jack's feet. And you can charge this up too, and it turns into one of the coolest attacks ever. Check this out. It's a lethal attack. It does massive damage. He walks on you. So violent. I absolutely love this. Who knows if it's going to be cool. Interesting to note that Tira actually looks cooler when she loses her braids in her hair and it just goes wild. It actually looks better, I think, than her normal look. 4K, counter tool, long range, good mid. Looks very solid to me. Kind of reminds me a lot of Miguel Savage up forward 3. All of you Miguel boys out there, you know exactly what I mean. Down forward K, that's the March of Tyranny. Down K, low poke. Down KA, that looks cool. Down back AK, I should say. I'm probably messing up a lot of inputs when I'm just talking like this because I'm not used to these commands yet, so I'm very sorry if I'm doing that, but hopefully you're not getting too annoyed by it. Oh, down back KA. Good damage, obviously not natural. Low looks pretty slow. Back KA. Wow. Oh look, you can delay that. I was gonna say, that looks like a delay catch. It hella looks like a delay catch, and it seems like it might be. Yeah, you can really delay it a lot. It looks like it's gonna work well for that. You just do a kicking attack like this, allow it to whiff, wait a little bit, and then when your opponent tries to whiff punish, you swing around him with a big horizontal swing and you can catch them. That's probably pretty useful. Oh, and you can charge that one as well. Crouching K, crouching down forward K. Oh, that's really cool. So you can do your bull charge forward K from crouch with down forward K. Reminds me of Jack. Basically, Jack 7 has exactly this move in Tekken, right? And good for ring outs, right? Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. While standing KA, that looks cool. Has a charge version. Jumping K. Is that a mid? That's a mid. Oh, jumping B, by the way, looks really good. Long range mid with low crush like this. Looks great. Double inputs. Break attacks. Yeah, talked about that one already. Awesome move. Wow. Look, it's so much just fantasy and charm with all these character designs. It's difficult not to smile when you're trying out characters in this game, really. And I think this red glow with the fire right there, I think that just means that you have one hit of armor, so it's kind of like making something power crush. Again, I think. Oh look, if you charge the down BK, you can get guaranteed throws. You can do back throw and you can do normal throw. Let's try that out. That looks really cool. Wow, it works. 58, big damage. Let's start with the back throw. Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Wow. Looks like a scrub killer kind of move. Does he say gomi soji? Which means I'm cleaning up the trash. And it's funny, because it's like he's using a broom to clean up your character. What was the input? I forgot it. Oh, back BK. This is how you clean the floor. Oh wow, look at that. That's a super cool attack throw. Cool move. Looks really good. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon because I'm pretty much just rambling and saying how I think everything looks really cool. But basically, my point with this video is that I've been messing around with practice mode in practice mode with Astaroth, and I'm basically loving this. You know, I'm all about the brawler, violent feeling characters. I love that kind of thing. And with Astaroth, it's like he has a big axe, but he doesn't even use it very well. He kind of just smacks you with the side of it. Doesn't even face it the right way. Kind of just this violent brawler kind of thing, which really reminds me of the kind of character archetype I tend to love. So along with Mina, definitely the character I think is the most fun right now. I hope you're liking Astaroth as well. He's pretty much a huge meme. He's a lot of fun to listen to and a lot of fun to play, it seems. So I'm going to be checking him out more. If you have combos for me outside of throw combos and the 4-4-B, then definitely let me know. I'm super interested to know if there's more stuff you can get with Astaroth. If there are any more situations where you can get the guaranteed up or down B, for example. But for now, thank you so much for watching these little previews and having fun with Soul Calibur. I think I've boiled down my character choices to Mina and Astaroth as of now. This is the second day of Soul Calibur being out, so starting tomorrow I'm going to be really trying to learn a lot of tech with these characters. Focusing on all the mechanics that I don't understand yet, and just playing a lot of online. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I also have Tekken videos in the works for all of you Tekken players out there. Don't worry, this is still a Tekken channel, but I'm like a kid in a theme park with this new game right now, and I'm just having a lot of fun. So I hope you're enjoying it too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.